The National Broadcasting Company invites you by transcription to join The Chase. There is always the hunter and the hunted, the pursuer and the pursued. It may be the voice of authority, or a race with death and destruction, the most relentless of the hunters. There are times when laughter is heard as counterpoint, and moments when sheer terror is the theme. But always there is the chase. And sometimes the most important chase of all is to stop one you yourself have begun. Have you ever written a letter, then wished you hadn't? That's what concerned Hilda Bradley in Harry W. Junkin's famous chase story, Special Delivery.
Your loving daughter, Hilda. And that, my fine, prancing husband, will fix you. Brooks! Judge James T. Tommins, Washington, D.C. Brooks? Mail special delivery. Brooks! Where is that butler? Brooks?
Yes, Mrs. Bradley?
Oh, I want you to mail this. It's airmail special delivery.
Yes, Mrs. Bradley.
And if you hurry, you can catch the 1 o'clock pickup from the mailbox at the corner.
I'll hurry, Mrs. Bradley.
It's to Judge Tomlinson in Washington, and it's very important. It concerns Neil, Mr. Bradley. So run along.
Yes, Mrs. Bradley, I'll hurry. Would you like some ice cream for lunch, Mrs.
No,
Bradley?
I don't care. Just hurry with that letter.
All right, Mrs. Bradley.
P-R-S-U. U.S. Government. M-N-P. Post Office, 8th Avenue and 31st Street. Pennsylvania, 67099. E 6 7 0 9 9.
Post office?
I want to inquire about a letter.
Yes, madam.
A letter mailed just now from New York to Washington. Airmail special delivery. When would it get there?
Sometime this evening, madam.
Well, it would be picked up at 96th and Madison at 1 o'clock. Can't you get any closer than just this evening sometime?
Well, it should be there by 9 o'clock, madam. If it's marked special delivery, they'd send it right out.
You're sure it would be there by 10?
Well, of course I can't guarantee it, madam.
But you think it would be?
Yes, madam.
All right, thanks. Oh, Neil. Neil. Hello?
Hilda? Is that you, Hilda?
Yes.
Sound peculiar.
I'm all right.
Is it still convenient for me to drop in tonight?
I was expecting you. Brooke says the rest of your things packed. They'll be ready.
I'd like to see you, Hilda.
What do you want, a fond farewell?
Hilda,
I've got the evening all planned. We can toast each other in nitric acid.
I wish you'd listen to reason, Hilda.
Oh, raisin. Oh, you stallion.
We can't talk on the phone. You're so mixed up with love and hate you don't know what to think. I don't want to leave you, Hilda. I love you. I've told you that 1,000 times. I've said it so often that...
You almost believe it.
Deep down, you believe it. Don't you?
Oh, Neil, I don't know what to think. One minute I could claw you apart. And the next minute I could...
Hilda, it won't hurt you to talk to me, will it?
It always has.
Hilda, I love you. You can't just throw me out like this. I swear there's nothing with Sharon. There's never been anything with Sharon.
Oh, if only I could...
Hilda, it's true. Honestly true. I just can't believe that this is happening to us. Please see me just once more. Please, Hilda.
Neil, do you really think we could...
I'm sure we could, Hilda. I love you. If you could only trust me, but you're so...
Eaten with jealousy.
Yes.
Oh, Neil, I'd give anything if we could... I'd try to do... Well, not to be that way, but... You don't know what it's like. 1 minute I
know. Let's not talk on the phone. I'll be up tonight. Just remember that I love you.
Want to come for dinner?
Hilda, you'll never be sorry. If we can get back together again, you'll never be sorry, I promise.
Maybe we can. Maybe I want to terribly. Neil, I can't talk anymore. Come about 8.
All right, Hilda. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Why? Why is it that one moment I love him so much and the next moment I want to kill him? Oh, Brooks! Never mind that letter, Brooks. Brooks? Oh,
Perhaps if I parked in the shade, Mrs. Bradley, the car would be cooler.
No, this is all right, Brooks.
Be no trouble to move.
No, this is all right. What time is it?
25 past 1, Mrs.
It says
Bradley.
on the letterbox that the pickup is at 1. Do you suppose we could possibly have missed him?
We were here at 1:45.
Well, I know, but... Oh, if only I'd caught you before you mailed it.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bradley. That was too bad.
Too bad. Brooks, where can he be?
Well, he'll be along.
Oh, I've done something dreadful.
What's that,
I
madam?
wrote a silly, ridiculous letter to a judge in Washington. A silly letter that can ruin... Oh, Brooks, where can he be? Nobody's ever on time anymore. If it says 1 o'clock on the box, why don't they clear it at 1 o'clock? You think we've missed him?
I wouldn't know, Mrs. Bradley.
Well, I'm going to ask for the letter back, Brooks. Do you think you'll give it to me?
I really wouldn't know.
After all, I wrote it. It's not as though it were somebody else's letter.
No, Mrs. Bradley, not when you wrote
The
it.
devil, doesn't he come?
Well, he'd probably be along soon,
Oh,
Mrs.
if
Bradley.
I'd only caught you before you mailed it.
Well, if the postman won't give you the letter back, you can write the judge again and explain whatever it was.
Oh, some explanation. Oh, Brooks, there he is.
You want me to come
No,
with
no,
you,
you
Mrs.
wait here.
Bradley?
I won't be long. Young man,
Yes, lady, what is it?
are you going to open that letter box?
That's what I get paid for, lady.
Well, you see, I mailed a letter. I wrote it, too, just a little over an hour ago. It's in this box, and I must get it back.
What?
Well, I must get it back. I can prove I wrote it. I brought a sample of my handwriting so you'd know that I wrote it. It's addressed to Judge Tomlins in Washington. It's airmail special delivery, and it's terribly important that I get it back. I forgot to put something in it that I should have, and it's terribly
There isn't a
important.
chance of you getting the letter back that's been dropped in this box.
But why? I wrote it. It's mine. It's mine, and I shouldn't have written it. It's a terribly bad, wicked letter that I
it's
shouldn't have
wicked?
written.
First you say you left something out, now it's wicked? What's in the letter, lady?
No, please. Please listen to me. I must get it back. It's a matter of life and death. Oh, listen, I'll give you $500 for that letter.
You will?
Yes, right now. I'll give it to you here. The money's right here.
Keep it
right
there.
in my purse.
Keep it
What?
That cop. No, across the street. He's watching us. Look, it's broad daylight. Don't start waving $100 bills at me right under a cop's nose.
$500 for my letter.
Must be some letter.
Will you give it to me?
That's your car over there, the big one with the chauffeur?
Yes, what of it?
Make it 1,000.
But I can't. I can't. I can't get $1,000 without my husband wanting to know what for.
Tell him then. This letter. You, having a little fun on the side?
Oh, you. How can you be so stupid?
Have it your way,
Oh,
lady.
here, $500 right now,
You
please.
flash
Take
that
it.
dough again, and so help me, I'll lace you one. That cop's coming over. Shut up, can't you?
I'll follow you in my car.
Beat it. Beat it.
No, I'll follow you.
All right, but beat it.
I'll follow you in my car and find a place that's quiet. I'll follow you. Brooks, surely you can hang on to a mail truck with a Cadillac.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Bradley.
Oh, where's he going?
Probably to another box on
Well,
his
to watch
route.
him.
Traffic's getting
Oh, Brooks,
heavier.
he's making that light. Go on, Brooks. Never mind the light. Go on. Go
I
on.
can't, Mrs. Burke.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you've lost
Well, I
him.
couldn't help it. I've run down the traffic.
Okay, you see the mail truck?
Well, I think he turned the corner as soon as the light
No,
changes.
don't wait for the light. Go through it. Go through it. I must catch that mail truck.
But the traffic cop will
Fool,
be...
we've lost him. He's gone.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we've lost him.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Bradley, but if I'd kept on going, I'd have run down that policeman.
Oh, it's all right, Brooks. It's not your fault. I guess you better take me home. U.S. government. MMNOP. Pennsylvania 67099.
Post office?
Oh, who's in charge of everything?
Well, just what was it you wanted?
No, I asked you a perfectly plain question. I want to know who's in charge of everything.
Mr. Rogers is the post
Well, let me speak to him, please.
Well, just a moment, madam.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Roger speaking.
Mr. Rogers, this is Mrs. Neil J. Bradley speaking, and I must see you. Something very important. If I come right down to your office, could you see me?
Well, just what was it you wanted, Mrs. Bradley?
I can't possibly tell you about it on the telephone. But I must see you, Mr. Rogers. Please. Please let me come down.
Well, if it's that important, why, certainly 8th Avenue on 31st Street.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. I'll be right there.
Sit down, Mrs. Bradley.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Mr. Rogers, are you married?
What?
Are you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. Why?
Do you love your wife?
Mrs. Bradley, what are you talking about?
Do you?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course I love my wife.
Do you love her so much that sometimes you want to kill her?
Really, Mrs. Bradley, I can't for the life of me understand what it is you want me
Well,
to do.
I wrote a letter. A special delivery letter.
Oh,
A dreadful,
letter.
terrible letter that well, it isn't true at all. And it's terrible. And I've simply got to get it back. If I don't get it back, my husband's life and my life and... Well, I've just got to get it back.
Mrs. Bradley, there's no use you're going on. If you've come down here to get a letter back, it's quite impossible. Quite
No,
impossible.
listen to me. Please listen to me. You don't know what was in the letter.
It wouldn't matter.
That 2 lives will be hopelessly wrecked.
Sorry?
How can you be so callous?
Mrs. Bradley, the moment a letter is mailed, it becomes the property of the addressee. It's an absolutely unbreakable regulation.
But this letter is murder.
What?
Yes. Yes, murder. Do you hear that?
No, Mrs. Bradley, you'd better go home. You're upset.
Please let me tell you, please. My husband and I were once very close. Very close. We were very deeply in love, and I think we could be again if... Anyway, he was overseas for 4 years, France mostly, and I took it very badly. Very badly. I was awful about it. I cried at the slightest provocation. I imagined him with all sorts of French women, and I know I'm neurotic, but I just can't help being that way. Jealous. I've always been jealous. I fight it. I swear I'll never again be suspicious or horrible, but I am. I was always that way. Jealous of his work, his business, his friends, everything. And then we lost a baby, and Well, I'm a little older than Neil, and I was afraid that...
Now, Mrs. Bradley, this is very hard on you. Why don't you let me send you home in my car?
I was afraid that he was beginning to think that I was too old for him. Too old for him to love. And he began to see something of another woman, Sharon Elders. I thought I'd go crazy. I used to plan how I could kill her.
What?
And then kill him.
What?
Don't look so stricken. I never got to the point that I attempted murder, but I reached that point today.
What do you mean?
There's murder in that letter.
Please, Mrs. Bradley, people will hear you.
I was going to kill him tonight. Yes, it's true. I was going to kill him. I planned it all week. I was clever. There's an old saying, hell hath no fury, and it's true. I was cold and relentless and incredibly clever. Every last detail was planned. The police would be fooled. Everybody would be fooled. It was perfect. It was a perfect murder.
Now, Mrs. Bradley, you're not going to kill him, are you? You're going home. Now, please, Mrs. Bradley, let me take you home.
You don't understand. I was killing him tonight by taking my own life. He would have been executed for my murder because it would have looked like murder. Don't you see? Can't you understand?
What? You mean you actually planned to kill yourself and have your husband take the blame?
Yes. The letter was to a judge in Washington, Judge James T. Tomlins. The letter was part of the plot. I said that I knew Neil would kill me tonight, and the letter was to be the final piece of evidence. Please help me. Please.
Really, Mrs. Bradley, you make it so difficult for me to know what to do.
Well, if you can't, you can't. That's all.
Well, Wait a minute. Hello, give me the special delivery desk on 3. That was a special delivery, ma'am?
Yes. Mr. Rogers, you'll never be sorry, I promise you. If you help me, you'll never regret it. I swear.
Hello, who's this?
I'll never tell.
Oh, Johnson, would you see if you've got a letter for Tomlins? It's Judge James T. Tomlins, Washington, D.C. Huh? Tomlins.
Yes.
All right. They enter all special delivery letters in a book.
Oh, I see.
What? Oh, when did you mail it?
Today. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock today. It's airmail to Washington. That's right. Huh? All right, Johnson. Thanks.
Well?
Your letter's gone, Mrs. Bradley. It'll make the plane that leaves for Washington in 35 minutes.
Faster, Brooks. We've only 10 minutes more.
We're doing 70.
Well, then do 90, do 100. Please, God, help me. Please.
Passengers for Flight 7 to Washington. Flight 7 to Washington, now loading to gate number 2.
Miss.
All aboard, please.
Is that the next flight to Washington?
Yes, madam. We're leaving in 3 minutes.
Oh, well, I want a seat.
I'm sorry, madam. The flight is full.
Got to get on that plane.
Well, there might be a cancellation on Flight 8, madam. If you'd care to stand by for an hour, I'll see what I can do.
Who's in charge of the mail on that plane?
Well, just what
now,
is it
I
you
want
want?
to talk to whoever's in charge of the mail. Is that the ship out there? The big silver one? Is that the one that's going to Washington?
Yes, madam, but it's quite impossible for you to get... Madam! Madam! Come back here. Now, you can't go through there. Madam!
Mister. You. Yes, you. I got to get on this plane. Would you sell me your seat for $500?
I beg your pardon? I don't quite understand.
I'll give you $500 for your seat on this flight.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. I have to be in Washington myself tonight.
Excuse me. Let me buy. Let me buy, please. I beg your pardon.
Your
let me
ticket,
buy.
sir?
Please let me.
Seat 16, sir.
Stewardess, I don't have a seat, but I must get on this plane because I've written a letter that's being carried on it, and I have to get to Washington when the letter gets there so that perhaps I can stop it from being delivered. I shouldn't have written
Madam, have you a reservation on this flight?
No, I just told you that, but you'll have to put somebody else off. I must be on this plane. I must.
But, madam, if you haven't a ticket...
I'll buy a ticket. I don't want to ride for nothing. But there aren't any tickets left.
Will you please see the ticket agent in the airport?
No. It's this flight I want. I must be in Washington before a letter that I wrote that's on this plane. It's a very silly letter.
Would you mind stepping aside, madam, please? You're preventing the passengers from boarding. Your ticket, sir? Seat 4, sir.
Stewardess, it's a letter that I wrote is on this plane, and I simply must get it.
Your ticket, miss? Seat 11, miss.
Stewardess, I must get to Washington before that letter does. I may be able to explain
Your
why
ticket, sir.
I wrote it.
Yes, that's seat 6. Thank you.
Stewardess, for heaven's sake, listen to me. I've written a very silly letter that I shouldn't have written. And if I don't get it, my husband
Your ticket,
will...
madam? Yes, that's seat 4, madam.
Please, stewardess, can't you help me?
1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't mean to bother you,
5,
but it's
6,
so
7,
urgent
8,
that I get on this plane.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
If you'd only
14,
just let me
15,
explain
16, 17, 18,
Stewardess, for
19,
pity's sake, listen
20,
to me. It's a matter...
21,
Will you listen to
23.
me?
Madam, I'm sorry. I don't doubt that your trip is urgent, but you haven't a seat
I'll
and
stand up. I don't need a seat. If only you'll let me
Madam,
go.
we're ready to take off. Now, you
No,
must
please,
leave the ship.
Please let me stay. I'll give you $500 if you'll let me stay, please.
Madam,
Stewardess.
if you won't get off, I'm going to have to put you off.
No, I won't. I won't get off.
Mr. Hill,
won't
Mr. Hill,
get
will you
off.
help me, please? I can't do anything with this
Oh.
woman. She simply won't get off the ship.
All right. I'll get off.
Home now, Mrs. Bradley. Mrs. Bradley.
What?
Home now.
Yes. Mr. Bradley will be home for dinner. Some coffee, Neil?
No, thanks. Aren't you well, Hilda?
Yes, I'm fine.
You seem awfully nervous.
Nervous?
I've never seen you like this before. Hilda, please don't worry about things. It's all settled. Isn't it?
I guess so.
You guess so?
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Hilda, I don't understand you tonight. Of course, I never did, I guess.
What time is it?
It's 10:15.
Any minute now.
What?
Oh, nothing.
What do you mean any minute now?
Nothing.
You must have meant something.
No, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Hilda, please, don't brood anymore. I thought that I'd come up here and, well, we'd just settle it all. I even told the hotel I'd be checking out tonight. I thought maybe I'd come back here tonight, Hilda. I thought you'd want me to.
You thought I'd forget all about Sharon, didn't you?
No, you haven't changed. You still think I'm cheating, that I always do.
I can't stand anymore. I can't stand anymore.
What is it? You've been acting so strangely all evening. Please don't cry, Hilda. Tell me what it is. I can help. Hilda, it kills me to see you like this. There's nothing to cry about now. Everything's going to be all right.
Stop. Leave me alone. Don't touch me.
Hilda.
You might as well go to her. There's no use you staying any longer here.
Darling, I've never seen you so upset. Here, drink this, please. Have some coffee, please.
I don't want this coffee.
Please. Here, drink it.
It's cold.
It'll do you good. If I dropped that cup, you'd have murdered me.
Don't.
What?
Don't answer it.
Hilda.
No, don't answer it, I tell you.
Well, you can't answer it.
No, leave it. Let it ring. ring.
Oh, Hilda,
I
be
don't
silly.
want you to touch that phone.
All right, Hilda. That does it. You still behave like a crazy woman, and you always will. Jealous, lying, scheming.
I didn't want you to touch it.
Sure, a whim like your other whims. Well, I've had enough. I've had plenty. More than any one man could be...
Let me tell you
Shut
why
up, Hilda. For once, shut up and listen. I came here tonight to do one of two things. If we could reconcile our problems, we'd try to keep the marriage, but you've shown me you'll always be the same, and on that I can't stand. So I'm going to do the only thing left me.
What's that?
Kill you.
Neil, where'd you get my gun?
I know you'll never let me live happily, and I can't take any more.
Neil!
Yes?
Mrs. Bradley, please.
She can't come to the phone now. This is Mr. Bradley. Can I help you?
Oh, Miss Bradley, this is Rogers of the 31st Street Post Office.
Yes?
Will you give your wife this message? Just tell her the letter came back just now.
Letter? Came back?
She'll know it was incorrectly addressed. It'll be in her mailbox tomorrow morning. I know how important it is to her.
Thank you, but it doesn't matter. Bye.
Oh, Mr. Bradley,
Yes?
look, well, it's none of my business, but I am a married man myself, and I think you'd better have your wife see a doctor. She told the craziest story today, something about killing herself and framing you for a murder. I know it's just neurotic talk and silly, and I tried to humor her, but, well, you never know what these women may do. She may do away with herself.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Thank you very much. Bye. Get me the police. Hello, I want to report an accident. It's my wife. She's been threatening to do away with herself. She's just killed herself. Suicide.
In the animal world, there is the hunter and the hunted, hound and fox, hawk and sparrow, cat and mouse. But who is to judge precisely which is the pursuer or the pursued as we enter the chase? The Chase was created for the National Broadcasting Company by Lawrence Clee. The script was written by Harry W. Junkin. Heard in the cast were Jan Miner, Maurice Tarplin, Shirley Blank, Bill Quinn, William Keane, and Ian Martin. The Chase is directed and transcribed by Fred Way. Fred Collins speaking. Next week, a New York cab driver finds himself the object of a statewide hunt in a pursuit featuring a fabulous bracelet and a beautiful corpse in The Chase.
Tonight, Bob Hope meets the Veep on NBC.